for the tutorial. Love everything so much. Okay, so let's start with this one. So what time are we looking at? Okay, that's taken me half an hour just to do the intro. So thank you to everybody that's joining. I'm just going to go back over what I mentioned at the very beginning. So this is the new pop-up wiper book. This is the collection here. And you can buy the whole bundle and you can save £30. Which is a saving of 20%. So that's the best way to buy it. And you can also use ClearPay, so you can split the payments over however many months is, comes up as the option. But also everything is available individually. So if you just want to purchase a beautiful stamp set with a lovely sentiment, then you can do as well. So there's something hopefully for everybody. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I'll try it on Gemma's stand. Don't throw me in the bin, yeah. Yeah. There's going to be a prize draw today, so I'm going to pick someone's name at the end. And oh, sorry, I just had something. I'm going to pick a comment at the end, and you will win a bundle that's been put together by Lou, worth £95. So it's a fantastic bundle. So keep watching. Just chat as you normally are. You don't need to spam and just randomly say anything. I will just scroll back through and pick someone at random. And you also get a second chance as well over on, I think it's Craft World Hillary, isn't it? But again, you'll be able to find that information on the CraftStash Facebook page. And again, as I said, if you've not heard me mentioning it, then have you joined the VIP waiting list for CraftStash VIP. It's not long now till it all launches, and there's so much going on in the background, and there are so many wonderful things that are going to be available if you do decide to become a VIP CraftStash member. I've said it in my lives, if you are already shopping regularly with CraftStash, then you definitely want to become a VIP member. But basically, they'll be sharing links in this live. Head over to the VIP if you've not already signed up. Signing up costs nothing. You're just literally waiting to find out more. But sign up with your interest, but you will be then sent an invitation to join the secret sale. You'll get access to the secret sale. And a few people have messaged me and said that they took advantage of the sale items and really enjoyed it. So that's just to give you a little taster of things that you could expect if you become a VIP. And then also just to say the deal of the day, which I did briefly share, is this scoreboard here. So Creative Craft Products scoreboard, you can save 40%. It's currently $14.99. You get your little score tool, and it's an envelope maker as well. So if you're just starting off, scoreboard is one of the first things. If I was to give someone a little list of 5 things they'd need to start off being a card maker, scoreboard is at the top. You definitely need one. If you want those crisper lines, then you want one. So yeah, just to cover those few bits there, now we can start the demo. So I'm using balloons and the birthday one, that one there. I'm not using the bookmark on this one, I use it on the next card, and then we just need the book. So let's just take that one off. Okay, so these are the 3 things that I've used here, and you'll recognise the papers are from my very first collection. So these papers are from the Wonderful Wipers collection, and these are now available as a download. So I thought it'd be really nice to use with this birthday image. It just worked perfectly, and it gave me a good base on how to colour the image. I just took the colours, used a bit of scrap paper, and went through my coloured pencils until I found the best matches, and then I was able to colour that image in pretty easily. You're back now. Oh, good. Glad you made it back. I stamp and don't throw me in the bin sentiment and leave it on the CraftStash desk. Hubby touches. I like it, Karen. I love my scoreboard. I didn't think I'd use it as much, but yeah, I use mine every single day. Every day I use that scoreboard. Well, not that one, a scoreboard. I use that one as well sometimes. It's only because I've got another one that I've used for a long, long time. Beautiful collection. How could I resist? Thank you. Me too, Sue. I just placed an order, yay. Oh, thank you, Carmen. Okay, so yeah, that's where the papers are from. So with this set here, I'll just talk you through, because this is going to go up onto the CraftStash YouTube. So to make this card, you will need one of the larger dies cut, and then I've used white to cut the middle, and then the blue again to cut the smallest. Okay, now there's not a score line on the largest and the medium because we wanted them to nest together, but you'll see in this one here you've got your score line running through the middle. So all you need to do is just grab your scoreboard. So I've got to use that one, haven't I? I'll show you it working. Grab your scoreboard and just go back over the smallest one first. So that one, just line it up with any track and just score, and then just line up where it dips in there at the top. You'll find it's more curved at one end or one side than the other. That's the top, where you've got that deeper curve, that's the top, and then that's the bottom. Again, just go over those. Just going to reduce the chance of cracking, especially as some people use like a colour core, you know, white core card. You're bound to get cracking if you don't go over those score lines, but you can see now how they nest nicely together. Okay, this is very easy. This is why I've done it as the first tutorial. So tomorrow this will be the first, not this card, one of the other samples, just the pop-up books, the first tutorial I share. Once you've then got your head around that bit, which is easy, then you'll be able to add the wiper if you decide to. Then these pieces here, you will need to cut, do I need to cut 2 more? Yeah, I'm going to have to cut 2 more of them. So when you're making just a plain floating pop-up book, you want 4 of this small one here to support all 4 corners of the book. If you're doing a wiper, you'll only need 2 of them, but again, that will all be explained in my tutorials. I'm going to cut 2 more, so I'm going to leave that one out. You then want to cut 2 of this one here, which has a larger square and a little rectangle. And then this one here, you want to cut 1 of those. Okay, cardstock I'm using is about 270 GSM. Right, let's just quickly cut 2 of those. Hopefully, I think I've still got some scrap. Oh yeah, I've got a big piece there. Some of the blue. Is that the same? Oh no, it's slightly darker. Typical, isn't it? I won't be able to find. Is that it there? Ah, there we go. Right. Just got 2 more. My craft space is fast becoming a made to surprise warehouse. I think I'm going to sort through a lot of my really old stuff now, because I was looking at some of the tubs and I've not actually gone to them for so long now, and it's like, well, I think I've got all my made to surprise on the left and then my non-brand, you know, other brands on the right, and I go to the left now so much because the collection's grown so much. I feel I've got a sentiment pretty much for everything now, and you know, a stamped image that will work. So yeah, I find myself going to the left more than the right, so I need to definitely, and it will give me room as well if I go through all of that. No doubt if my mum's watching or listening, she will now say, I want to be there when you're sorting that out. But to be honest, most of it has been given to me, or I found it in charity shops. So if I do have a big chunk, I'll either donate it back to charity shops, or I might sell it and then put the money to charity. So that's something to think about at a later date. I do that. I use your collections more than anything I have here. Ah, good. I'm glad they're getting well used. I joined the VIP list, but it is only coming up in dollars. Yeah, there's been a few issues with that. I think CraftStash will probably pick up on that in this live. But if not, if you just drop them a message on their Facebook page, they will sort that out for you. All right. Sell them on eBay so then we can buy them. Okay. So with this one here, what I like to do is just fold all of the pages. Like so. And then I like to add a little bit of shape. So just using a foam folder there, just make it more book-like. Give it a little bit of shape. Do a D-stash. What, an exclusive Muckers only D-stash? Could do, I guess. We'll see. It's finding the time to sit down and do it, because I've always got so much more going on. Right. And you can see, just by adding that shape, you get that nice lift. So it can still fold flat in your envelope, but it will naturally now want to lift. Can I tell you all a secret? Of course, Leanne, tell away. Love a secret. If I have to make a card, I look at MTS first in my stash. Yeah, it's about £110 cardstock. Okay. I then stamped and coloured these here. Now with these dies, you need to make sure that you've got them in the right orientation, because I've given you one for each side. So again, you've got that deeper curve at the top, so you can see your left and your right side. All right, so just make sure that you cut each one the right way. So I've got them all ready, and again I've used my accent glaze just to go over all of that, and then I'm just going to add a bit of shape to that as well. Ooh. Like so. I think sentiments more than anything, I go to a lot of my own sentiments now, and I think I need to just organise them a bit more, because I've got something for everything nearly. It was the other day, I remember in my live I was going, I'm sure I've got Bestie somewhere. I couldn't find it. But you can see now how that all looks. So I'm going to use some tape. You can use liquid glue if you want, but I find with tape you get a bit more of a neater finish. If you want to maybe turn the pages a bit, then the tape's going to make that a bit easier, because when you put some glue down here, the glue's going to spread out and it won't be even. Oh, lots of you saying you've already had dispatched emails. That's great. I love the collection works with the showstopper dies. Yes, it does. And I know the showstoppers are really popular. Lots of you use those ones. Okay, so I'm going to take the next size down, and I'm just going to run some tape up and down each side, and then I'm going to pop a little bit kind of in the middle as well, just to, because you want, when the book gets pulled open, it will pull open this bottom one. So you want to make sure your other pages are attached as well. Thank you, Mandy. Yeah, I try to explain as much as I can. Now, I wouldn't put foam in between these layers if you're having it fold flat in a card. If you're doing an open book, like the two styles that I showed you at the end, then definitely put foam behind so those pages really look lifted. But you need this to fold flat in the card, and you're already going to have bulk from the mechanism. Now what I'm going to do is just focus on the score line, and then making sure I've got the same border at the top and the bottom. So I'm just sitting that down there, and once I'm happy that's in place, do one side and then fold it over. Okay, it's all right, Corinne, you'll be able to watch this all back again. Okay, so you can see now how that's going to pop open. The book design card is such a fun idea and so versatile to cover many themes. Definitely. My mum's a big bookworm, so I know it's a style that I'll use on her card. Might even do a nice Mother's Day card, actually. Will be beautiful with this. I've got so much, again, so many nice florals in the brand, God, little twang there, in the range. I think with all the florals and that, you know, in fact though, I need a Mother's Day sentiment, so maybe we need to do a verses 2 or poems 2. And I'll do something that maybe can cover a family member, just to say you love them, kind of thing. Okay, so just make sure it all folds flat. I wonder if I could stitch. Well, I actually, Karen, in the YouTube videos, I say you can punch little holes here. You could do some bookbinding, or you could add some ribbon through here. You could wrap ribbon around. So there's lots of, you know, different ways. This is CraftStash double-sided tape, Candice. So if you go onto the CraftStash website and then brands and click on the CraftStash brand, you'll see all their self-adhesives. They've got the red liner tape there as well. Anniversary, yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be quite nice. Yes, yeah, and you've just helped me almost finish another concept with that idea now. So yeah, definitely room, I think, to do another batch of 4 different poems. I think that'd be cool. Yeah, Mother's Day would be nice, wouldn't it? Christmas, gotta have a Christmas one. I wanted to do the night before Christmas, but it's still licensed. Can't use that phrasing. It's not old enough yet. So I did mention Christmas, but yeah, definitely. I'll get my mum thinking of a nice Christmas verse. And yeah, watch your space, but it will definitely happen because I know I can do it. So yeah, there we go. See what we can do during a live. versus 2 definitely be a great stash builder. Use your stamp so much. Oh, thanks. You definitely need more poems going forward to cover all occasions. Oh yeah, gosh, I mean, there's endless occasions, isn't there? So much. Right, so with this one, I've always been sticking mine closer to the score line so that then I get the same border as the pages. So this creates like your top page, or you can have it as a matte layer. If you stick it in the middle, you'll get the perfect border on all 4 sides. So it's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to bring it down to the score line. You don't want to stick it over it, but just bring it down. Like so. And then again. There we go. Yeah, Christmas. Got to have a Christmas one. So there we go. So we've got our book now that's quite shaped. Okay. Now we want to build the pop-up piece. So with this one here, you just want to fold it so you've got 3 mountain folds. Folds. I think I need another coffee. And no doubt my stomach's going to start rumbling later because I'm going to go way past my lunch. Okay, what you want to do is you've got this little like kind of chopped off triangle end. Just add your glue all to that end there. And you want to stick this up to the score line in the middle here. So this is 6 inches. So just put a little marker or pencil marker at 3 inches and just line it up. I'm just going to eyeball this about there. And then let's have a double check just to make sure. Come down a little bit like so. But you're bringing it up to the score line, don't go over the score line. And just to check, just fold it, because if there's any tension or stress when you fold it, it's because you've gone onto the score line. And then fold that in half, make sure it's straight, and then add your glue all onto the other side. I think I've got it clogged up, but it should be okay. Like so. So just fold that over and then just close the card up. So let me just watch the chat a minute. Words are hard sometimes, eh, Sam? Yeah, and I talk so much. My gosh, I talk all the time, that's why. But I'm going away this weekend, I can't wait, so I'm going to chill. It all looks so easy to make as well. Yeah, I tried to break it down, and even the wiper, there is a part where you've got to kind of, you know, get it all at the right kind of time, but it's not difficult. A poem is more generic, like for mum on a special day, so it can be for Mother's Day or birthday would be great. Then do some for dads, yeah. Christening, yep. Love all the tips we learned during the demos. Sam, could you remind us, please, what the name of those papers are? These ones were called, I think they're called Wonderful Wipers. I think it was Wonderful Wipers. If you type in Wonderful Wipers, it will come up anyway. So you'll see it. Okay, so now when we open it, we've got this little triangle in the middle. So now what we want to do is create the cradle. Okay, so we're having a cradle to hold our book. So the squares on this piece here are the same size squares on each side of the triangle. Okay, so just add your glue. Now you could stick these on to this piece before you stick it in the card. Once you've got this and you start using it, you know, you'll find it, you know, probably do it a different order to me, different sequence. It's entirely up to you. But you're just going to stick it with that bit folding out. Just bring it up onto its side. So you've got a little tent with this flap on the top. Oh, you've ordered the sympathy set. I think the sympathy one, it was a really, when I was doing it, I thought, oh, is it? I don't know. Should I do sympathy? But it's actually one that I see all the time, whether people are sharing a card on our Mixed Up Crafters group, or just in chats on other pages. They're always like, I don't know what to say. I need an idea for a sympathy card. So I think it's actually going to be, well, it is. It's already doing very well as one of the stamp sets, because I think it is the one that we find the most challenging to do. So, you know, all you've got to then write is to the person and from yourself. You know, the words are done for you. I love a nice sentiment. Yeah, I love sentiments. I've got so many. That's why I really try and focus, and we do good sentiments on each launch. Yeah. Sarah does have a laugh when I send her some of them, and as I've mentioned before, some I'd like to do a little bit naughtier at times. So now we've got this effect here, okay, and then we're going to add glue to these sides, and then we're going to fold this up and you're going to stick it in between. So now what you want to do is pop the card this way and just sit it in the middle, and just make sure the card isn't popping out. It's not more to the left or more to the right. Don't worry if it's a little bit off, and just close it. Just keep it pushed. Oh, hang on a minute, that didn't dry very well. This is what happens when you do live. Make sure that side's dry. You don't want the book falling down into or under that square. Okay. Oh, make sure it's the right way up. Good job I did that, because it was upside down. So make sure that's the right way up. Otherwise I've got my bunting at the top. And again, just sitting it on there. In fact, what I'll do is I'll do it this way. Just stick it on the back first. And I can move it like so, and then close the card. You'll see it all fits in there. I probably made that harder than it was. It's not, it's very easy. Just make sure it's dry. I'm live crafting, you'll give yourselves time, and I do prompt you to leave it and let it dry in the tutorial. So, well, Sam, this collection is amazing. Looking forward to Gemma's YouTube tomorrow on Sunday. Tutorial on Sunday. Yeah, you're going to have loads of this inspiration now. You get first tutorial from me tomorrow. I'll put something up on Sunday as well. Gemma's tutorial is going up on Sunday, and no doubt Gemma, she's sharing lots of wonderful things on her channel. If you're not following Gemma, if you're new to this live, if you type in Gemma Lee Crafts, Lee, L-E-I-G-H, and you'll find her channel. What do we do to enter? Nothing, just chat, Brian, just as you are. And I will choose a comment at random. That would be me too impatient, yeah. So now when you bring it up, just carefully open it up. It's going to wobble for the minute because we haven't added the supports, but you can see now you've got the floating book. Now that's the reason I've done everything small. I wanted the book to look floating. You could have gone much bigger with all of this, but it's clumpy and I just didn't think it looked as good. So I've made everything small, but you can see now we've got that book. It does balance there. So then these are your supports. Like I say, if you're not adding the wiper, then add 4. Otherwise, just 2 if you're doing the wipers, but I'll show you that in the next demo. So again, I'm just going to go over the score lines. So just scoring at the ends. Like so. The middle score line you don't need to score. That's there if you want to create like a spring. And I'll show that in future tutorials. It's a fun card, isn't it? I love these papers. These papers always encourage me to be colourful with the, you know, with the final card, because it's just, yeah, there's such pretty colours. So I'm adding my glue to one side, or one end, and I'm going to bring this in. You want to stick it about 1 inch down, 1 inch in. This is going to pull the card open as the card opens. So I definitely wouldn't rush again these. Make sure you allow them to stick. I'm going to hold my hand over them when they when I open it. And again, just kind of get them in the same place. You could again stick these before, or stick them onto the back of this before you stick it into the card. So again, different kind of steps. And then over to this side, like so. Oh. And then again, hopefully see. This is a quick grab glue, that's why I'm using it. You could use your construction glue, you don't really need to on this. The quick grab glue works fine. And again, that one there. Just push those down. Okay. And I'm going to go back to this side because it will have had a chance to dry a bit better. Now what you want to do is fold these flat, okay, and add the glue to the end. Try not to go too heavy with the glue. You want to cover it, but you don't want it oozing out, because if it oozes out, it's going to stick on this page onto here. You don't want to do that. So now I'm going to keep them folded down, okay, hopefully you can see that, and close the card. Okay, so that's going to let the other side dry a bit, and then I'm just going to hold this down. Let me see. If you've got any questions, just drop them in capitals and I'll try and see them. The seat or saddle part reminds me of a speculum. I saw a mechanism similar on Instagram, but it's much more complicated than yours. No, this is pretty straightforward. Would love to have the brains to come up with these mechanisms, stunning cards. I get a lot of inspiration from old vintage cards. I've got loads and loads of cards from like the 1940s, the 1950s, and they've got cute little like colours that you can kind of pull out, great for like different fonts, so I get a lot of inspiration from things like that. There's a few of like the images are lovely, but again some of them are under copyright, so we can't bring them into a collection, but yeah, I get lots of inspiration from old things. I haven't crafted for a week, full of cold. So now, because this is live, I'm just putting my finger just under there to make sure they're stuck. You can see that I'm just pushing under there. You see now how that's pulled that side open and you've got that floating look, but I don't want to pull it too much still while that dries. So now I'm just going to go over to this side, again add my glue on the ends there, and then again keep those down and fold that all down. Now whilst that's drying, I'm going to decorate the front. So I've got the balloons here and I've added some baker's twine onto the ends with a bit of my hot glue. I was going to do this before and have it ready, but I thought no, it would be a good way then to let the inside dry. And then I've got my sentiment, "It's time to celebrate," which is from that stamp set I shared earlier. So I'll just go back to the beginning there. You can, it's ridiculous, it's something like, I think something like 200 units. You can only make up to 200 units of the same card, which no one would do. So you, even if you just change like the balloons to something else, then you can make another 200. It's a really generous angel policy. It's linked below. If you go onto the main homepage of CraftStash, scroll right to the bottom, you'll see angel policy and it's there. It's really, really generous. I've never known anybody to ever have any issues with it. So yeah, make to sell, not a problem. The glue's the Cosmic Shimmer Quick Grab, which is available on CraftStash. It's that one there. I get the bigger bottle, works out a bit better value for money. It was on offer not too long ago and it's sold out. I don't know if they've got the stock back in, actually, just thinking about it. I put a post up, it was so good, and then they just sold them all. So yeah, if it's on offer, grab it. And I thought it'd just be nice, just do something simple, but I was going to have them kind of all like sprayed out at the top and then grouped together and held in place with the sentiment. So let's do, I don't want to think about it too much. Sometimes if you think about it, you end up, you know, spending ages. So I'm just going to place them like so. And this was all just using scraps from my stash. So I've got all the colours to match. But I think something like that. And I'm going to pull these all in, trim off the ends, and then put the sentiment just over the top there. So it's going to be displayed open, so I didn't want to do too much, but just to show you how they look and how, you know, you can use them. So I've got my hot glue gun on here. Hopefully I won't knock the camera there. So let's just do a bit of hot glue. Put that one there. And then probably change the order a little bit now, but it doesn't matter. Let's do I'll do those two together. So you'll have a lot more time. Just want to get that in place. And then just bring those all together. And then I think I'll use my hot glue just at the bottom there. In fact, if I put a little bit, all that nice and taut. Try not to get it on my nails. There we go. You could personalise these with the small letters in the bookmark set as well. So you could have someone's name stamped in there. It's nice to have those tiny stamps to add personalisation into things that you might, you know, already have. And now that's cooled a little bit. I can just sit that go. Time to celebrate. So it's like you're bringing the balloons to the party, and then I might do one more balloon later and just pop it under that side, just so it's kind of equally spaced either side. A little bit of hot glue there, and then I'm going to bring them down so they almost come to the bottom of the card. There we go. I'll just bring that up a little bit. But yeah, I might add some stars as well. I'm going to get photos of all of this, and it will all go up onto the YouTube and Facebook page as well. Okay, but now again, I'm still just going to double check that that's not pulling. No, there you've got your floating book, and you can now add more onto here. If I show you again, like the new baby cards, when you decorate it, what I find is good to do is just get like a glue bottle, get something to go either side so it keeps it like it's like a little cradle again, and then you can build that up. But if I just show you on here where I've done the double, but I've used the elements and stuck them onto the page, so you know I could add another balloon there with some of the string. I might do that after actually and take photos. I might cut another balloon with just a little bit of the baker's twine just sticking on the side there, just so it brings a little bit of the front of the design into the inside of the card. I still think that sentiment needs a colour behind it because it looks lost. Oh, you still think, did you mention it earlier? Yeah, quite possibly, Sandra, but it's a live demo, so I'm not going to worry too much. You can definitely put a background to it if you need to. I like the balloons on the front. Yeah, just something a little bit different, but you can see now how that will display, open. So just something a little bit different. And yeah, I think it's really cute. Wood white nice with a title greeting edged in red. Stunning card, amazing. Thank you everyone, love that. Simple front cover, but looks great inside. Yeah, I'll definitely add another balloon there inside. I think that'll look good. And maybe like the thinner one as well. And then I'll add another one on that